Real people, making change happen. Total, proud to sponsor sustainable energy.
It's the world's most important natural resource. We drink it, we wash with it, we even irrigate our crops with it. We also get energy from it, and in the future we'll be making it with less energy than ever before. But what is it? Water. Hello and welcome to Sustainable Energy. Now we know that water sustains all life on planet Earth, but water and energy are inextricably linked. Today we're looking at ways of making energy from water and ways of making water using energy. So ahead on the programme. We head to Israel, where a growing population is pushing up demand for fresh water, and seawater is providing it through lower energy desalination. From a country with good water infrastructure to areas with none, how India is turning to the sun to provide off-grid safe water. Zero carbon air travel, impossible? Well, how water could be the key to green kerosene. And capturing the power of the oceans, we look at a low-impact tidal power project that could be used around the globe. According to the World Economic Forum, the water crisis is the #1 global issue affecting society today. By 2025, 2/3 of the world's population could be under stress conditions caused by water scarcity. 750 million people lack access to clean water. That's double the population of the United States, 1 in 10 people on the planet. The energy required to provide 1 cubic metre of water safe for human consumption ranges from just over 1/3 of a kilowatt hour for lake or river water up to 2.5 kilowatt hours for recycling wastewater, but extracting it from seawater up to an eye-watering 8 kilowatt hours. There are 658 million people living without access to water in Africa, and there's an impending water crisis in Ghana too. At present, around 80% of the country's 27 million population has access to safe water, but that could rapidly change. The country's tropical climate delivers around 83 inches, that's over 2 metres of rainfall a year. But what about in countries where it's truly a scarce resource? What are they doing to make sure there's plenty of safe drinking water? Since 2013, Israel's thirst for water has been quenched by the opening of the world's largest desalination plant here at Sorek. Seawater is pumped from over 1 kilometre out at sea. After pre-treatment to remove impurities, the seawater is forced under 70 bar of pressure through membranes that forces the water through but leaves the salt behind using reverse osmosis. Add a few minerals for taste and you have safe drinkable water. Sorek is producing a lot of it.
The Sorek desalination plant is producing 624,000 cubic meters per day, which is about 20% of the domestic usage in Israel.
But that requires a lot of energy. Traditionally, desalination used a large amount of electricity. Sorek does it far more efficiently, and energy use is still set to fall further in the future.
25 years ago, the power consumption was about 7 or 8 kilowatt hour per cubic meter. In this plant we have 3.5. We are continuing working to diminish the power consumption, and most probably in relatively short time it can reach level of about 2.5 kilowatt hour per cubic meter.
What's been learned here should make bigger plants in the future even more efficient.
In every day of operation, we are learning how to optimize and how to reduce chemicals, even eliminate them totally by the pro-green technologies that we introduced into the market, by utilizing better motors and pumps and overall in the plant design. And only by this we are creating value and sustainable water.
The scale of Sorek means Israel no longer needs to rely on rain, rivers and aquifers for its potable water, and it's using less energy than ever. So while Mother Nature may not distribute fresh water evenly, Sorek shows how we can tap into our oceans on a scale never achieved before. Helping us to navigate the choppy waters of conservation, sustainability and energy usage, I've come to meet Dr. Joseph Ampofo, Director of the Water Research Institute in Ghana. It provides scientific information, strategies and services to manage the water resources of Ghana. Dr. Ampofo, thank you for joining us on Sustainable Energy, and thank you for letting me into your laboratory, hence the work coat. So what does the Institute do here?
In this laboratory, they are testing for the portability of all waters of the country, both sachet, bottled water and the raw water.
I'm seeing a lot of water. I'm seeing green grass outside. Ghana to me doesn't look like it has a problem with water. You say that there is.
The issue is you may have the water but you cannot use it because of the level of pollution. So sure, we have the water, but some areas are so polluted that you cannot handle it.
So where are those pollutions coming from?
Two major places. Illegal mining, especially those dealing with surface water and then water bodies, are somehow uncontrolled, and so they are just destroying the water bodies. And then with the sanitation, we have challenge with collection and treatment of the waste.
Most countries, they're worried about water scarcity, and yet you've got tons of it. How do you kind of correlate the problems that they have with the problems that you're developing?
You see, when
here?
you don't have the water, then you are careful about the use of the water. When you have the water in abundance, it has become a curse for us, because then the assumption is the water is there and it will always be there. So if I destroy it, it will move off.
Yeah. How big a disaster would it be if the whole system collapsed because all the sources of water were polluted?
I don't hope it will come to that. I don't think it should come to that. Because I look at countries and I see polluted waters, and I wonder why they allowed the water to be polluted to that level. And that is why we have started a campaign early in Ghana to warn the people about the dangers of pollution of the water, because we need the streams to flow. The government has an agenda for a lot of hydro dams, but if we continue messing up the waters, how do we get the dams operating?
So, as we've heard, Ghana doesn't have a water problem, at least just yet. It's whether drinking water will be safe in the future. What Ghana also has is a lot of sunshine. So, what if you took the energy from the sun to help reduce water scarcity in parts of the developing world? Well, that's exactly what they're doing thousands of miles away from here in India. India. A land of 1.2 billion people, a figure that's rising fast and putting a severe strain on all of the country's natural resources. Most water sources are contaminated by sewage and agricultural runoff. India has made progress in the supply of safe water to its people, but it varies across the country. Bangalore has a large slum population. People there lack proper water supply and there's poor access to electricity. Enter the Sun Saluter.
We understand the cause is always the same for energy, poverty and clean water. So focusing to that, Sun Saluter is basically an ultra low cost solar tracker which just uses gravity and water to increase the efficiency of solar panels.
By installing this kit, this really rotates. It faces the sun. So the morning and evening energy contributes almost to a 30% increase in the output.
Not only does the tracker produce more energy, it provides something else that's desperately needed in many parts of the world.
If it is fitted to a soil filter, it purifies the water also simultaneously while the solar tracker is rotating, and it cleans the water and make it hygienic for drinkable for a small household, up to 7 liters to 18 liters of water.
Solar isn't new, and small-scale solar generation helps get electricity where people need it most, off-grid. And because the Sun Saluter captures more energy from the sun, it means smaller, less expensive panels can be used. That puts solar power within reach of more people.
Sun Saluter is beneficial to rural areas because it's quite cheaper, and it can, let's say about 25 houses in rural areas. One automatic unit is enough for 25 houses in rural areas.
It's a clever and ingeniously simple way of providing energy and water in places where access to these vital resources is limited. Keeping the lights on and the water safe will give thousands of children like these a brighter future. So, Joseph, I see a generator behind us. Yes. I see a solar panel over here to the left. What's the relationship between energy and water?
The two go together because you need the energy to drive the production of the water, and you need the water to drive the production of the energy, because we use hydro dams. So when we do not have enough water, we can't get the energy. And if you don't have the energy, you can't pump the water to where you want to use it.
You can't have one without the other.
No, you need both, and you need both in abundance.
So earlier in the program, you were talking about the relationship with water and how you actually store it, and if that link is broken because it's polluted. How's that going to affect Ghana and the way you utilize energy?
The depth of the water is gradually changing because of sedimentation. Because as the water flows down, it brings sediments and it's blocked. So gradually, the volume of water in the dam itself is reducing, making the turbines inefficient. And so you get less energy now. And so you need to have water in abundance to get the full complement of the rotors to work.
So we were talking about the fact that Ghana actually has got enough water, but has Ghana got enough power to use that water?
For now, we don't have all the energy we need. Unless I don't understand what is enough. But there are industries which will need more, they are not getting. There are homes which will need more, they are not getting. Anytime there is power outage, we don't also get water running.
So
you need the
your
water.
Energy security is basically tied to your water security.
Tied to the water. So you have energy, water, and food security. Because when you don't have the water, you can't get your food. You don't have the energy, you can't get the food. So that miss is there.
So water is the key to Ghana's success going forward?
It's not only Ghana. Water is key to everybody, every life. You need water everywhere. And in the nearest future, water is going to be fought for, like people are scrambling for oil and gold. In the very near future.
Okay, Dr. Ampofo, for now, thank you. But stay with us because we'll hear more from him later on in the programme. But first, we'll take a short break. When we return, more about water and a novel way of getting energy from it. That's after this short break.
Total, proud to sponsor sustainable energy.